Hello and welcome. My name is Sarah Gunn, and on behalf of the Aura team, thank you for joining us today. I have the pleasure of introducing you to Scott Hudson, Aura's SVP of Employee Benefits. Prior to joining Aura last year, Scott built and managed Equifax's sales channel for the Affordable Care Act management platform, growing the ACA business from $0 to $60 million. He then went on to develop Equifax's employee benefits business with an emphasis on ID theft solutions. Scott has served as a subject matter expert and delivered keynote speeches at several HR-focused events nationwide. We are excited to have him join us today and discuss how Aura is revitalizing cyber wellness benefits. I'll turn it over to you now, Scott.
Great. Hi, Sarah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And welcome, everyone. I really appreciate you taking the time. We have a good representation of folks from around the country, so hopefully you'll find this as valuable as possible. I do want to remind you that feel free to offer up any questions. You can do that through the online chat feature, and we'll present those. And throughout the presentation, we do have a few polling questions, so we'll look forward to getting some feedback from you. And as I mentioned, we will be recording, and we'll make it available to you and others to distribute. So thanks, and let's get started. So let's take a few minutes and just talk about the cybersecurity world. Obviously, it's not a surprise. You can't hardly go a day without hearing about a breach. And every time that happens, obviously, we're putting significant amount of PII, or personally identifiable information, out on the web for people to use in ways that are not very desirable. In fact, coming from Equifax, I personally experienced what it's like for a company to go through something like that. And so it's very important to not only help companies, but also help individuals focus on what they're trying to accomplish. What's really ironic is 72% of employees don't think they've been a victim of identity theft or cybercrime. And the reality is many of us are significantly impacted, and probably, quite frankly, don't even realize it. And this not only impacts individuals, but it impacts the company. I recently read an article from a general manager at Cisco that said 81% of all breaches are a result of cybercrime. And so this impacts not only each of us as employees and consumers, but it also impacts our employers and puts significant risk and impact on them. So with that, employees with cybersecurity solutions, based on research, are 3 more times likely to be aware of compromised identity. So what does this mean? So organizations that are spending time and effort are those that seem to realize that they've been compromised, and they have a way of taking advantage of services, is what we're going to talk about in a moment, to help protect them and ultimately protect their organization. It's no surprise, as you can see here, people trade privacy for convenience. So if you're a Facebook user, an Uber user, I use Uber every day, not so much Facebook, but certainly Uber and others. But organizations with all types of breaches and then access on the dark web, our information is available and readily accessible by many, many different folks. And so we all have to be diligent in focusing on that. So by the numbers, 35% of consumers who have been victims of credit card fraud. It's a significant problem, but then 450 million records with PII were exposed through breaches in 2018. 19.8% year-over-year increase. It's $17 billion in annual cost. In fact, there was a recent study that just came out by the ID Theft Resource Center that said breaches increased another 19% this year. So this problem continues, and quite frankly, it's not going to go away. So we as individuals, consumers, employees, employers, those of you in the broker insurance community, we owe it to take the appropriate steps to help individuals fight this problem. So let's look at it. So what does this mean as it relates to the employer and the employee impact? If you think about it, you know, what's happening when somebody's identity is stolen is it puts a significant burden on that individual, that employee. And on average, 12 to 25 working hours are taken to resolve that problem. And then you can see down at the bottom left, 32% of the victims said that the incident caused problems with them at their place of work. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't really need to look at the stats. What we have to understand is not only is this a financial point of pain, it's a emotional point of pain. And when you're having these issues, whether you're at work or not, you're not really present. You're really not focused. You know, I can remember many days seeing a colleague of mine that's sitting outside of their office, you know, in the hallway talking on the phone. Typically, they're talking about some type of problem, financial, identity theft, or related. And so what we're trying to do through leveraging these types of services and is to provide people the ability to be alerted, minimize those problems, and more importantly, when they have a problem, somebody can take advantage of it, excuse me, not take advantage of it, but actually help them fix it so that they can be at work and ready to focus on what the real problem is. And here's what's scary is this is a multi-generational problem. You know, my mother is 87 years old and she's on Facebook every day. And so God knows what she's doing there. But you know, she could be a significant victim of identity theft, and I wouldn't know it because the only thing she does check is Facebook. You know, she's not getting email alerts, and so we have to look at this. So if we look at baby boomers, they do take greater cybersecurity precautions. As you can see here from some of the stats, 85% put significant thought into password creation, and 84% can recognize phishing email. I'm not real familiar with all the different phases. In fact, Randy, who's one of my colleagues, just had to remind me that I'm a baby boomer. But it's clear that it's a significant problem, regardless of the generation you come from. So as you can see here, Gen Zers are reluctant to give away, or excuse me, Gen Xers are reluctant to give away personal information over the phone or online, and they are concerned with password security, and they are concerned or very nervous about their accounts being hacked. So generationally, you know, they're taking this stuff more serious, but the bad guys are getting better and better at it. So we continue to have to step it up. And then millennials, 25% more likely to report losing money to fraud than other adults, and 3 times more likely to experience financial loss from phone scams and boomers. And so phone scams is another big component, and it's something we'll talk about in a moment about what individuals can do. So as you take a step back and you look at this problem, I think we can all agree that the problem is going to continue to get bigger. The bad guys are going to get more sophisticated. Unfortunately, there's nobody out there that really is bringing together all the pieces and parts to help consumers, employees, employers actually solve this. There's really a large fragmented marketplace with various point solutions that each of us have to go subscribe to, remember to renew them, and so on. So the market is really ready for change and somebody to come in and step in and help with that. While we're going here, we're going to stop for a second, and we have a polling question. So for those of you that are out there, I would love to know, are you offering your clients, or do you currently offer your clients some type of cybersecurity solution, identity theft related, breach services, whatever? If you could take a moment and give us a response, we will share with you the results. All right, well, we'll go ahead. It looked like, which is good news, most all of you that participated in the poll said that you are offering some type of identity theft solution. That's good, because I think we have some stats that say 70% of employers out there are not offering it. So it's a great opportunity for all of us, one, to be better educated on it, but more importantly, making our clients aware of these types of services. We have some more polling in a moment. Whoops, let me just skip out of the poll here. All right, so the goal today was to introduce you to Aura, which is a relatively new company here in the Boston, Massachusetts area. But what we do and how we do it, and the company that we own, is not new, and we'll talk more about that. But what our vision and goal is to be the first and only unified integrated platform that really brings all of the cybersecurity needs you need to provide. We like to talk about a digital halo, but the whole idea is, how do we put a digital halo over each of us that protects us physically, financially, digitally, technologically, and all of that done through one service, one platform, and one subscription. Nobody wants to have to be able to go out and buy X, Y, and Z and wondering about this feature or that feature and wondering if it's upgraded and you have the most current product. So as we look at this, identity theft is a great product and it's a great solution, but it's a piece of a puzzle, and by no means is it complete with just identity theft protection. So what we're trying to do is grow a suite of solutions that you as a broker community and the partner community that we're that can bring other products and services to market, helping your clients employers. Really, at the end of the day, it's about bringing all of this together, integrated into one solution. And the good news for all of us is that as we add these features, as we add additional pricing and income opportunities, not incomes, but as we add features and the price of the total solution goes up, net, we're all making more money, but more importantly, we're solving a significant problem in helping our clients and their employees protect themselves. So this is what really interests me, and as Sarah mentioned in the beginning, I came from Equifax and have a lot of experience in the credit business, but also in the identity theft space. And what really got me excited to join this organization was, obviously I liked the Identity Guard product, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, but it's really where we're going. And so as you can see here, we have an antivirus product called Entrust. We have a product called Privacy Maid, which is really about helping you manage where your information is, and quite frankly, helping remove it when cold calling or spamming companies or emailing companies or direct mail companies are leveraging that information. Identity Guard is really the core of what we're doing. We also have access to a VPN through our investment company that we can bring to market. And then we have or a social shield. Part of that exists today in Identity Guard, but we're seriously considering building a separate product outside of it that adds even more robust features and services to help individuals not only protect their social image, but even more so, how do you protect your children and your family members? Because, you know, as we put more information out there, we're putting ourselves and our family members at risk. And so this is really what got me excited. And this is just, we're starting. This is just where we're starting. We will continue to evolve. Our founders come from a rich history of buying and selling some 80 different companies when they ran, I believe it was called Endurance. And they were able to take multiple companies, multiple services, integrate them together, but more importantly, put them on one platform that allowed and drove efficiency and great value. And that's really what we're all about as we move through this journey. So let's take a minute and talk about Identity Guard. So I've listed up here a full spectrum of products, or features that we offer through our product. And I'll be honest with you, if you're looking at core identity theft, whether you're looking at us or you're looking at our competitors, you have to assume that in general, at the base level, most of us provide very similar services. And somebody might do something a little bit better than the other, and so on. But at the end of the day, the basic functionality is there. But that's not what we're here to talk about, because we have those basic functionality available and through our product. But what we're interested in talking about are the features that we have in our product today that truly differentiate, that nobody else in the space has. And this is just specifically within the Identity Guard product. We obviously are going to be talking about other products and features that come with a broader Aura halo. And so as you look at how we're different, and we'll talk about each of these, IBM Watson. You can't hurt, you know, I was watching the Grammys the other night. I was watching another show. You see Watson everywhere. And so what is it? It's artificial intelligence. It's all about taking information and learning and using those learnings to get better and better and helping. And so we're leveraging that to protect you and protect your family. We're enhancing risk management. So as you add more information in our platform, Watson is taking that and it's making more informed, taking and pulling and making more informed information for you to make more informed decisions about your personal security. We're providing personalized threat alerts off of this. We'll talk about speed of alerting and then safe browsing tools. So let's go ahead and chat a little bit about risk management. So this is something that's very unique to our product and service, in that as you're initially logging into the product, we're asking you some 25 or 30 questions. We're learning about you. We're learning about your browsing behavior, what kind of networks you use, what type of router do you use, what type of phone do you have. And as you fill this information out, we're collecting that, and then Watson is taking that and studying it and going out and coming back to you with focused information that may be relevant. I was talking to one of my colleagues, Lindsay Klein, and at one of our previous employers, they send out a weekly breach alert, but it's basically every breach happened within the week. And she said, well, we don't have that. And I was like, no, we don't really need that, because as you fill out information about you, we're actually come back and give you relevant information that you may have been at risk to a specific breach, because we're capturing information and we're learning about you and we're tying everything back to you. And that's where Watson really provides a unique differentiator for us. So risk managed by Watson, key piece. The other one that's really intriguing to me is our family protection and cyberbullying. And we're going way beyond what some of our competitors do. They may do something like keyword search. And so they'll type in the word gun. And so if your child or someone talks about a gun, you may get an alert. What we're doing is we're leveraging Watson. And Watson is looking at those posts, looking at those images or emojis, and looking for contextual intent. So it may not be crystal clear that your child is being cyberbullied, but what we're able to do by leveraging Watson is we're able to look for those various pieces of information and come back and provide that to you. It's also going out, and was on a situation with a demo with a client the other day, and we were able to go in and show this particular client where 9 years ago they had information on their Facebook page that probably was not something that they wanted on their Facebook page. And there was no way that they would have been able to go in and find that on their own, but how we are searching through their content, we were able to present that back to them. And so if they were looking for a new job or they were looking for X or Y, they may not want that information to be seen. And so we're able to present that to you and help you manage your identity through a unique and creative way. So these are just some of the things from a social imaging point of view that we're providing, and we're actually grading you and providing you on a chart. How's your social image? Threat alerts. So as things happen and you're going through, you get different alerts. In fact, my wife recently rolled into the product, and 10 different sites, which was a problem that we talked about afterwards, but there were 10 different sites that she'd been shopping on, some of them I've never heard of, but it came back and said it appears that your password and your information may have been compromised. And so that allowed her to potentially go back and think, wow, am I using that same password everywhere? Because if I am, I'm putting myself at risk, maybe on my banking account, or maybe I'm using that password at work, which means now somebody could potentially get in and have access to my company records and my company's networking. So these threat alerts, they're again by Watson, are being very, very targeted, coming back to you and giving you information to help you as an individual, but also helping your employer. And then another key piece is around safe browsing. And so I just actually enabled this feature on my laptop last week. And so what you're able to do is you're able to, one, go in and take ad blocks and activate ad blocks. So if I'm on CNN or I'm on ESPN, all these ads obviously are popping up. Well, individuals can load malware or viruses into those images. I mean, the bad guys are always trying to do something unique and different. And by clicking on those, I'm putting myself, my computer, and quite frankly, my company at risk, because I use my company computer quite a bit. I use my company phone. And so by using ad blockers and popping those up and searching for phishing emails, basically by leveraging the power of this safe browsing tool, you're helping protect yourself, you're helping protect your family, but you're also protecting your employer. Because remember what I said earlier, per the gentleman from Cisco, 81% of all corporate breaches start with some form of identity theft. And so this is going way beyond a traditional identity theft and credit alerting that that you typically hear about. Now, credit alerting is important, very important. And the most important thing about it is timing. You need access to information immediately so that you can stop the bad guy. Perfect example, I was in Best Buy recently. My credit card had expired, so they happily gave me a new one. They did it right in the store. They actually printed out a piece of paper and handed me my account number so that I could continue shopping throughout the store until my card came in. Imagine if I'm the bad guy. I'm going to go spend as much money as possible. But if I'm using Identity Guard, I would have received an alert within 4 minutes or seconds, and I could have stopped that, and I could have stopped the bad guy. But what's relevant here is what's unique about what we do is we're the only identity theft provider in the marketplace that's actually connected with all 3 credit bureaus. So everybody else typically is connected to one, and the other 2 feed. And what that does is that causes delays in transaction time. And so these transactions and speed allow you to make much more informed decisions. And if it's you, great. But if it's not, pick up the phone and call us and we can help you fix that problem. And so access to information and the ability to stop things. I mean, a personal story, I was recently refinancing my house. I had a fairly dramatic drop in my credit score for an unusual reason. My mortgage person was getting ready to actually run my credit. Would have been a hard pull. It would have negatively impacted me. By getting this alert, literally, I called her in 2 minutes. She stopped it. I got with the bureau, everything was fixed, and she ran it, and I had a successful transaction at an acceptable rate. Think about if I had ran that, that would have taken me 6 months to work my way through because of what it would have done to my credit score. So alerting is important, particularly at the speed that we're able to do it. And then we're not done. So we continue to innovate on the core identity theft feature. And these are just features that are either live as we speak or will be live by the end of March. So we have property deed monitoring, one of the fastest growing forms of identity theft. You hear it a lot on TV now. You're hearing it on satellite radio and others. People are actually taking over titles on houses. And so we have a solution now that will help eliminate that. Address changes, criminal record monitoring, sexual offending monitoring, fictitious identity monitoring. The other one is identity theft for children is one of the fastest growing forms. So we're going to actually allow you to load your children's data, and we'll actually trace and monitor any transactions or activity so that you can take appropriate action. And then we're enhancing transaction monitoring. So you'll be able to load all of your accounts and all of your banking information and credit information and receive appropriate alerts as we go forward. We have a number of other robust features that will be coming later in the year, and we'll soon be communicating all of those for our 1/1/21 timeline. But we wanted to go ahead and make you aware since these were so close or already in production. The next piece of the digital halo I talked about earlier is Privacy Maid. Privacy Maid is a product that or a company that we acquired recently. We bought the rights, and so we want to integrate this into our solution. And we're thinking in Q2 we'll have some level of integration. How it works? Basically, you complete an enrollment. We're searching thousands of sites. And what we're doing is we're moving your data. So think about your mailbox, value pack, all the direct mail that comes in. What's happening is data brokers are constantly selling your information. Every time you go to a website and you click terms and conditions, I accept, what you're doing is you're authorizing them to leverage or use your data and unfortunately sometimes sell your data. And so what we're doing is we're working with and getting access to those data brokers, those direct mail houses, those email houses, those phone scammers. And what we're able to do is remove you with your authority from those. But this isn't an event. This happens and you come back because you clicked and agreed and approved to some other thing. So Privacy Maid is always there working on your behalf to go out and remove that information. And so, you can see here, I won't read all the stats, but 93% of American adults say that being in control of who gets their information is important. We obviously know that, but 76% of adults aren't confident that data maintained by online advertisers will remain private or secure. I won't read all of these, but the point is our information is out there. Fortunately, leveraging Identity Guard and Privacy Maid, there's new ways for you to get removed. You hear about the do not call list. Well, you get on it, but the scammers figure out new ways and they work their way around it. And so what Privacy Maid does is it's there to help you. And so it's eliminating telemarketers, junk mail, data brokers, and people search sites. So it's all about helping you maintain and be in control of what you get and who has your information. So very excited about what Privacy Maid will be bringing to the table. The next piece of the puzzle is Entrustive. So this is a product that we built. It's an antivirus product, and so it's a product that obviously helps prevent cyber intrusion. So it's scanning your hardware. It's detecting, it's quarantining and removing. And in today's world, we need to think about, we're connected all the time. In fact, yesterday I was in the car. The car had a hotspot actually from the car. I was working from the hotel, getting on their network. When I go home, I get on the home network. We are connected virtually all the time and through multiple devices and multiple servers. And so Entrusta is just another way to provide another layer of level. I just heard a crazy story that someone had a home security system and somebody took a laser beam, shined it through the window into Alexa, deactivated Alexa, which deactivated the home security system and actually unlocked the door. Sounds crazy. Another example where somebody had somebody's home network and actually was able to access the digital camera that was in their kid's room and actually talked to the child. It's scary. And so these are just multiple levels of protection that we're putting on devices, on your networks, to not only help you protect your identity, but more importantly, even protect your family. And so, we talk about this digital halo. We're not joking. We want to put a digital halo over each of us that helps us and protects us. And, so how does it work? No malware, adware. It's very simple. You add it, it's running in the background. It's just another level of defense to help protect you. So we're really excited about that. And then, as I mentioned, VPN and other services will be coming. But here's the key thing that differentiates us from others. This is not, oh, we have a partnership with this person or we have a partnership with this person. As I mentioned earlier, our leadership built $1 billion company by buying and building and integrating software for businesses on a seamless integrated platform. That's where we're headed, is we want you to have access to all of these services. And you have the ability to buy up. So you can say, all right, I don't really want that feature. Great, you don't need that feature. But if you want the premium package, you'll be able to get all of them. And so we're really excited about how we're going to bundle these, package these, and in working with the broker partner community, you then have a suite of products and services. We also, I don't have a slide on it, but we just announced, and we'll have it, one of Aura's umbrella companies does breach services. So we provide major breach services for organizations. We'll be providing for our employee benefit clients, if they're of a certain size and a certain take rate, we will secure that if for some reason that employer has a breach of their employees' data, any employee that's not using Identity Guard, we will provide Identity Guard to their entire employee population for free. So basically, we're providing a breach service, and this is a real problem. We had a client call in yesterday. All their W-2s, so we're in tax season, all their W-2 data got compromised. So they're going out now and having to buy a breach service for 10,000 employees. That's probably going to cost them $1 million. By us integrating this as part of the program, if their employees are using our product, we would have provided that service for free. So we continue to innovate and bring new pieces and new parts to the market. So how do we work with HR? You know, we continue to hear from the broker community that you have to be easy to work with. You know, we're a piece of the puzzle. We're not, you know, you have a lot of different pieces and parts that you need to take to market, and you don't want cyber wellness or identity theft related products to become a problem area. So we have a very flexible implementation program. We have dedicated account management teams that work with you and your clients. We put together with you an integrated marketing plan. It can be co-branded, service delivery best practices, and then reporting. So the key is, you know, we want you to be able to see how's it going, who's using it, and more importantly, be able to take that information back to the client and show them that they're getting a real return on investment by leveraging this product, particularly as we start to add these other services. As far as implementation, right out of the gate, we're going to get integrated with you within 24 to 48 hours and start the process. We'll work with you within the first couple of weeks to host onboarding calls, both you, the employer, and the whole idea then is, all right, this is the opportunity, this is the requirement. It's an employer paid deal, it's a voluntary deal. They use this benefit admin, they want this enrollment schedule, they want this type of communication. So we're going to work with you to put those pieces together and put a detailed plan together to make sure that it's seamless and is easy for you so that you don't have to worry about this. We know that that's important, and that's important to us. As you can see here, we all have different materials, checklist, all of the pieces and parts, and we're actually in the process of revising all of these as we start moving and preparing for the broader open enrollment season, and obviously anything that comes in off cycle or earlier in the year. But we really want to transform and build the best in class customer onboarding process and customer management program for you. A little bit of information. We have a 24/7 customer support and remediation team. Important to note, I'm actually going to jump to the next slide. I was talking with the leader of this team today. We actually have our team, it's based in New Mexico. We have over 100 people that are on staff. And the key thing there is they are our employees. They're all US based. Here's something that's quite frankly, I think is amazing for a call center environment. Our average tenure is 7+ years, which I've never heard of. And so this team does a really, really good job helping your employees and your clients' employees make sure when they have a problem that we're there to take care of it. And so we're really proud about the concierge level service that we're able to provide. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's all great, but I know that, you know, the employer typically is not paying you to help them with this. It comes from commissions. And so we have revised our commission program. This is a bit of an eye chart. So to summarize it, I'm going to jump to this slide. Basically what we've done is we've created 3 levels of partners: key, major, and strategic. Key is kind of the entry point. You're just starting to look at this product, you're interested, and so we have that program, and commissions typically start at 20%. But what's important about what we're doing is we want you to make more when you sell more. So every dollar that you sell accumulates, and as your business grows with us, your commission level grows. And so it's tiered. And so as you grow, it grows. And so ultimately, if you move your way up to a strategic partner and you're generating a significant amount of revenue, your commission levels could exceed 40%. And so we want to pay that. We want to reward you and reward for performance. What's really exciting, as we talked about, is we're adding these new features, whether it's Privacy Maid or Entrust, X, Y, and Z. we believe that we can go back to that install base and upsell other products, other features, and our book of business collectively will grow without even having to bring on new clients. And those commission programs will continue to grow. So we're really excited about that and hope you find that valuable as well. And then pricing. Those of you that have, there's a number of you on here that have worked with us over the years, and we really appreciate that and thank you. But I believe our pricing has not always been clear. We used to have a list price, and then we would price this deal this way, that price, etc. We've aligned our pricing to be more standardized with what the industry is doing. So we have voluntary and we have employer paid, and basically we have our pricing. So there's not going to be a different price for this situation or a different price for that situation. I think you'll find that our pricing is very competitive. Obviously, we believe our product is a premium, but we'll have a total and a premier product for voluntary, and total will be a 1B product, and premier will be a 3B. All the other features and functionality will be the same. And then as we look to integrate Privacy Mate and Entrusta and some of the other services, we may come up with some other bundling and add-ons, but just talking strictly with identity theft. And then for employer paid, we have different pricing here based on different levels. In fact, I apologize, it says less than 250, that should be above 250. We'll get that updated and put it out here, but basically we're tiering it, and then if you have an employer paid deal that's above 5,000, just give us a call and we'll be able to provide that pricing for you. So, poll question for you. Let's pop it up here and I'll read it for you. So, does your client cybersecurity solution stack up? So give us your feedback. It does not. It only addresses traditional identity theft. It does. They use Identity Guard. I don't currently provide an identity theft solution. So we'll give it a minute because there's a number of you out there. We'll see if we get any responses. I would hum the Jeopardy note song, but I can't do it. We'll give you 20 seconds. Well, it looks like we didn't get a lot of responses, but it appears that a lot of people are just offering basic identity theft. So not surprising, because we feel like what we're doing is the most robust. Whoops, let me go back here. So just to kind of close out and summarize, as you're looking at your clients and you're thinking about, we're actually rebranding. We haven't come up with the final name, but we don't believe identity theft protection really defines what it is we do. We're playing around with the word cyber wellness. Some people like it, some don't, because the wellness word is somewhat overplayed. But the whole idea here is, how do we bring different pieces in different parts, whether it's identity theft protection, whether it's device protection, whether it's Privacy Mate, VPN. But the whole idea is creating this digital halo that protects you and your family. But we really want to drive home the message that this is just not a employee family solution. This is helping the employer. Remember, data breaches, 81% of them start from a form of identity theft. Somebody creates a hole somewhere and the bad guy gets in. And so as we lay these different layers of protection out there, we can do some pretty neat things. You also see predictive analytics. We'll also be rolling out soon an analytics report that helps you understand the financial health of your workforce, but we'll also be integrating some metrics around the cyber health of your workforce. And so more to come on that. We don't have enough information yet to share, but we're in conversations with a number of organizations where we'll aggregate those data assets and provide some pretty insightful reporting for you. And many of you may not have ever heard of Identity Guard. We're obviously is a new name. It's been in existence for less than 2 years. But Identity Guard has a very, very rich history. Formerly, it was known as Intersections. And many of you have touched it in many ways and would not have known it. We were the LifeLock before LifeLock. We have had over 47 million consumers leverage our product. We were primarily focused on private labeled marketplaces where our product was provided. So organizations you see here, many of them, you're getting identity theft through one of those organizations and many others. And it's really Intersection's Identity Guard that's providing it. So you can see that we've had a rich history since 1996 when we came into this space and had become a very large publicly traded company. And now with Aura buying it, taking it private, we're looking to really expand it and differentiate it. And because of those large relationships with those various partners, many of them I can't name, but primarily financial institutions. Think of the largest financial institutions in the United States and Canada. Many of them leverage us in one way or the other. And so they put us in a very special box from a data security point of view. And so we have some of the most stringent security requirements. And I've been told that we typically have anywhere from 40 to 60 audits per year from those clients and put us through a lot of rigor. And we have passed them every time and come out with a very high grade as far as what we're doing and how we're doing it. But you can't rest there. You constantly have to be investing in this area and making sure that you're taking the necessary precautions. The bad guys are always out there, and so we have to be very diligent in what we do and how we do it. And we put our standards of security up against anybody that's out there. Last polling question. What do you find most exciting about partnering with Aura? Competitive pricing, aggressive commission, superior cybersecurity solutions, the added benefits of our security suite. If I was checking, I'd hit all of the above, but I don't get a chance to vote on this survey. Anybody? We'll give it one more. Looks like most of you said all of the above. It's 50-50. The new added benefits of the security and offering superior cybersecurity. So it seems like it's the three bottoms, but they're all really good. So we would agree with that. Let me go ahead, and that's actually my last slide. So I have a couple of questions, and please remember that you can submit questions. I see a couple of them. Somebody said, can you do cases with less than 100 employees for voluntary? Great question. Previously, the answer was no. We had a minimum, but we are in the process of forming a partnership with an organization that will allow us to do voluntary benefits down to 2 people. So if you have someone that's interested in small cases, we're certainly able to handle those, whether it's voluntary or employer paid. Another question, do you have a standard broker commission agreement? Yes, we do. So if you feel free to reach out to me. I'm not sure if my contact information was on here, but we'll send out the replay and make sure that my information is there. I will put you in contact with the appropriate salesperson. We have a sales force strategically located across the country. We have 8 salespeople in region, and then we have 2 strategic partner managers that are working with many of the larger brokers. Many of you may know Ed Sutton and Megan Solomon. So let me see if I have any other questions. I don't see any more. So we actually got done a few minutes early. So with that, I would like to say thank you. I hope this was informative. This is the first of our soon-to-be series of webinars. I know we have one coming up through Source Media, and then we'll be doing a whole series. We really want to move more to thought leadership related, but we felt like we needed to get the word out. Who's Aura? Many of you may have heard of Identity Guard, but obviously we wanted to make you aware that Identity Guard, we think, is the best in class, but under the umbrella of Aura and what we're doing with the digital halo, we wanted to make you aware of that. And then we will start coming out with more cyber wellness, thought leadership related, and invite special guests to come in and provide educational materials. So with that, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.